This is an excerpt from Reputation as Representation. Now, remember, as career musicians, most times we don't have representation. We don't have an agent or a manager representing us. So our reputation is what precedes us, right? Your reputation precedes you, sir, precedes you, ma'am. So you get the idea. So you want to make sure that you have a good rep around town or anywhere you are, because like I said in the past, this music business is small. I've seen good reputations be built and destroyed in a single day, and that's no lie. I'll expound in just a minute. It's of high importance to communicate effectively and keep records of your communication. How's your follow-up game? Does it take you a few days or more to reply to emails? Does it take hours or days before you realize that you've received a handful of important text messages that you just haven't answered yet? If so, yikes, that's not a good look. People forget things all the time, and you don't want prospective clients to forget you. Your follow-up game is just as important as your outreach hustle. The truth of the matter is that we're all tethered to our phones 24/7, basically, right? We have a phone. We don't use it as a phone anymore. Now it's become a texting machine, what I call a Google stick. You can look anything up online, a social media magnet, and so forth. Okay, respond immediately is the point. This will show the other party that you're eager to get to work and that you're responsible with your scheduling and organization skills. Imagine you've been hired to do a remote session for an artist. The producer has sent you all of the files and details of the job. You get the job done quickly, you triple check your work for quality, and deliver a professionally written email with a download link to your files. You go out of your way to make it easy and convenient for them. Let me repeat that. You go out of your way to make it easy and convenient for the client. Then crickets. Days go by and you hear nothing. Now what? You don't know what to think, right? It's extremely unsettling and many questions enter your mind. 1, did they receive the work? Did they like it? Did they forget about it? Maybe they hired someone else to replace me. Are they even going to pay me? Now you are left with your imagination running wild. Doesn't feel so good, does it? So the point is, don't do that to other people. As a music director and producer, when I'm leading a group of musicians, and here we're getting to the crux of it, I need to know that all parties receive my messages ahead of time. I expect them to acknowledge receipt of those messages and agree to protocols. These messages typically include important information like call times for sound check, studio location, downbeat time, lobby or bus call, airport check-in details, etc. It's extremely important that everybody responds with a simple answer such as yes, confirmed, copy that, received, understood, I'll be there. I've been known to replace musicians on a moment's notice if they're not responding to my messages. I have been known to replace musicians on a moment's notice if they don't respond to my messages. Look, regardless if you're slammed against the wall with several projects on strict deadlines, I don't care. Follow up. Everybody's busy. Get back to your clients and say something, even if you can't respond with a detailed message. Let them know that you're aware of all the instructions and that you will get the job done by the deadline required. No response is a powerful response. And word travels fast in this business. Don't let a lack of communication ruin your chance for the next gig. Now, this reminds me of a story. I was rehearsing with a big celebrity artist, and this artist wanted to hire another singer to kind of divvy up some of the workload, because I think we were doing like a 2-hour set, and the artist said, you know what, I'm going to take maybe 3 or 4 songs out of the set and hand them off to this other singer, but it needed to be a very particular singer. Anyway, we auditioned probably 20, 30 singers. We found one that we really liked. Well, guess what? I think we had a run going on in Japan and Singapore, and then after that, Mexico. We had a bunch of international dates. So we bring him into the studio for his callback. He nailed the first audition. He gets the second audition, and the boss, as I always call the artist of the boss, says, pulls me aside and says, "Yep, that's the one. Let's go ahead and get all the, all the necessary paperwork and everything happening. Let's put it into motion." So I call the manager on break. We get everything going. The manager calls me back about a half hour later. "Hey, so and so, the singer that got the gig, they don't have a passport." "What? They don't have a passport?" Okay, so effective communication. The singer didn't portray to me, didn't communicate with me that, "Hey, I'm having some issues with my passport." Turns out, after a long investigation, they had some major personal problems, some with some childcare issues and things of that nature in the courts and whatnot. And what happens is, when you don't take care of all of your family personal life in a in a way that you're supposed to, you lose your privileges as an American citizen. And one of those first privileges to go is to travel abroad, out of the country, which therefore you lose your passport rights. So we made all these plans based on this singer doing the gig, and then it turns out they couldn't do it. And it actually took about 2 to 3 days to figure all of those details out. Why? Because that particular career musician, I don't consider them much of a career musician, was non-communicative. Okay, so it's very important to always be communicative, to always express all details from the top, from the beginning. And if you're busy, I don't care. Like I said, you're tethered to your phone. Because, "Hey, got your message. Let me get done with this session that I'm on right now, and I'll hit you back ASAP, or I'll hit you first thing in the morning, or I'll hit you, in the next 2 hours," whatever it is. But you must communicate.